Guy right there. He's got it on his mind, and hopefully we'll see him in, what do you think, Matt, 10 years?
Give or take a few.
Yeah, give or take a few years. We're back here at Coors Field. The umpires have taken the lineup cards from Walt Weiss, the manager of the Rockies, who's returned from his appendectomy. He had the surgery last week. Tom Runnels had been running the show. It's his bench coach. And Ryan Sandberg was out there as well. Jerry Lane is the crew chief. He's the one that's behind the plate here tonight. And they're just waiting for the Colorado Rockies to take the field. Ryan Howard, who has very good numbers in this ballpark and also has some pretty good memories from the postseason, is back in the lineup after having a day off. The same with Chase Utley yesterday. Both of those guys were off. Jordan Lyles is getting set to take the mound for today's start. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Phils. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Leading it off in left field, Ben Revere. Batting second is the shortstop, Freddie Galvis. Grady Sizemore hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Maikel Franco. Chase Utley's at second base. He'll bat sixth. In the bottom third of Odubel Herrera, Carlos Ruiz, and Cole Hamels. Now they will face right-hander Jordan Lyles, who's 2-3 on the year with an ERA of 4.30. Matt, we mentioned last year he made 2 starts against the Phils. Lifetime he's 1-0 against them. He's allowed a lot of base runners. I mean, 55 base runners total between the 38 hits and the 17 walks.
Well, and the key for him is to throw first pitch strikes, which he's been struggling at. As you can see, the Budweiser scouting report, he's a 5-pitch pitcher. He's not overpowering. He will top out at 93 miles an hour. He loves the slider and the split finger fastball. So when he gets ahead, that split finger fastball is very good. If he gets behind the count, his fastball gets flat, and that's when he gets in trouble.
Well, they acquired him for the Houston Astros, and he was a guy that they wanted to be the foundation for this starting rotation. Well, it's time now for our Nissan keys to the game.
Well, key number 1 for me is Hamels to keep using that sinker and to have the Rockies move their feet in the batter's box. You know, they wanted to get that there and get the extension to home runs. And also, Phillies hitters don't change the approach because of the stadium. The ball flies, and what I mean by that is don't think you have to elevate the ball. Stay gap to gap, and the ball will go here.
Ryan Sandberg said today that he was pretty happy with the extra batting practice that the team took today. He said their approach was very good. Now there is Walt Weiss. Tom Runnels next to him. Amazing that he's back in the dugout after having his appendix out the other day. Ben Revere will lead things off. Revere was 3 for 9 in the most recent series and had 3 hits in yesterday's game. Overall hitting .255 with no home runs and 12 runs batted in. Ben was walking around with a knit hat on today. That's how cool it is here in Denver. First pitch of the day is taken low. We're underway. It's 1 ball and no strikes. It'll be Revere, Galvis, and Sizemore for the Phils. And a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 1-1.
By the way, this is the best ballpark to take early batting practice in when it's hot. It's all about home runs in BP.
That one's off the hands, out towards shallow center. It'll drop for a base hit. So Ben Revere's aboard to start the ball game. Yeah, today is not what you would term hot, but the players were saying the ball was still flying pretty good.
It does. I mean, and this is a ballpark where you don't have to overswing. I mentioned with the keys, you just kind of take that nice, easy swing, and the ball come off the barrel of the bat, and you'd be surprised how far it goes.
Oh, with the runner at first, Freddie Galvis is coming up. Galvis 1 for 5 in the series against the Diamondbacks. Scored a couple runs. He had a very good homestand overall. He was 12 for 30. His average at 347. Take strike 1. It's 0-1. Freddie has faced Lyles twice. He's 0 for 2 against him. Not a big lead for Ben Revere. Revere has stolen 7 bases. You got a pretty good catcher behind the plate, Nick Hundley. Hundley has thrown out 28% of the runners who have tried to steal. Veteran who originally was with the San Diego Padres. That one's a grounder, fielded by Rosario. He gets 1, throws high to second. So the Phillies have a runner at second base with 1 man down. think the Phillies thought that ball was foul. I didn't know if Rosario stepped on the bag or not. It looked like he straddled it. And Ryan Sandberg is coming out. Now that is reviewable, even though it's on the infield, because it's a tag play of the bag. So Sandberg's coming out, and he's waiting to see whether Larry Bowa gives him the thumbs up to go out and ask that to be reviewed.
Kind of watching the reaction of the dugout, telling Freddie Galvis to run to first base.
Yeah, they can't review whether it's fair or foul.
Right.
And Ryan Sandberg, I think, is going to ask them to review that. Yeah, and it's not the neighborhood play. There's no neighborhood play at first base or third base. The neighborhood play is only at second base. So the reason we bring that up is because if he straddled the bag, that would be the neighborhood bag at second.
It makes a very nice play right there, and you see.
Oh, he never touched it.
Never touched it.
Wow. That's amazing. You know what? It looked like he had missed it when he went across it. I thought maybe the heel of his left foot hit it. But by that replay, it didn't look like the heel of his left foot hit it. So Hunter Wendelstedt is to your right, and the crew chief Jerry Lane is to your left. This is probably the earliest review we have seen. Watch it again.
Right there, you think he's going to step on it, but he steps over top of it.
Now, did his foot hit the bag when he threw it?
That's what I'm thinking. Did he drag his foot?
All right, this may tell us right here. Watch his back foot. And then we lost it there. That other replay showed us that his foot may have dragged across the bag.
I think his foot dragged across the bag after
he threw it.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's the call. And he is safe. Wow, what a break for the Phils. So they retain their review privileges. Well, that's an excellent review. Now, Walt Weiss is coming out. He cannot argue this. He may be just getting an explanation. All right, so then the other thing is, since he was not out at first, the throw to second base, could they turn that a force play? Was Tulowitzki on the second base bag before Galvis? I don't know if he was.
No, he wasn't.
Okay. The throw was high.
Yeah.
They're going to score that in E3 for Willie Rosario. All right, so get your whiteout out. Here's the play at second. Oh, yeah, it's he's wide of the bag there and never comes down near it. Yeah, they may have to review that again. They're conferring about it, and the umpires are going to chat. Bob Davidson is the second base umpire. Yeah, it's a good question by Walt Weiss, because everybody was focused on first base. They weren't really focused on second. But they'll see the same thing we've seen. I mean, in fact, New York has already looked at it. They'll probably tell him in the headset, no, he's safe at second base. So.
Well, this game is flying already.
And by the way, Rosario's playing first because Matt's friend Justin Morneau is on the 7-day disabled list with concussion. He is normally a catcher. All right, so the umpires are back with the headsets on. They're asking the question, and they should be giving the answer pretty quickly here.
Just look at the scoreboard. Make your own decision.
Yeah, they could do that. You know, the other thing, too, they can't review it, but that ball did look foul when he fielded it. But it was clear that Tulowitzki was off the second base bag. So the Phillies will have runners on first and second with nobody out, and Grady Sizemore due up.
So is this a first for a...
It's the first that I remember.
It has to be.
But, you know, when they do review a play, they review it in its entirety. They can change anything that they want. And by the way, good call on your part, Matt, that he may have hit the bag after he let the ball go. Because that's the only way he could have hit the bag is if he let the ball go.
But I think he touched the base after he threw it.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
after the ball left his head. Well, we're only assuming that this is what they're looking at. They're looking at the play at second, because what else could they be looking at? There's nothing else that they're allowed to review. Well, Ben Revere started this inning with a single. And now Freddie Galvis is safe at first base. And nobody's overreacting from a Phillies standpoint. And now Ryan Sandberg wants to make sure that he wants to ask if they've lost their review privileges because they asked for the review of second base. Now this could be just an umpire review, which they're allowed to do.
So this is where I think they need to change the rules a little bit. After a play has changed, you should have the right to go out and have a conversation with the umpire. That's one thing I miss about baseball is the arguments with the managers and the umpires at times. Yeah.
Well, Ryan Sandberg is still chatting with Jerry Lane. Yeah, I think Ryan Sandberg is saying that the Rockies should lose their challenge privileges because they did ask for the review at second, but the umpire can easily say, we want to make sure because we're not 100% on top of it. Now Walt Weiss is being told something. He may be being told that he's lost his challenge privileges. Well, we will get a report, which we normally do for Major League Baseball. It just may take a little bit before we get it.
Let's just send Murph out. Let him have a conversation.
Yeah, Murph, why don't you run out to the field and see what's going on?
I think I'm out of timeout, so I don't think I can get out there.
Murph, you heard a little bit, though. That's what Ryan Sandberg was asking, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Tom. He was asking whether or not they still had a challenge.
Yeah. All right, Grady Sizemore's up. And Sizemore lifts it toward right field. Boy, Ben should have tagged at second base. And now he's going to go to third. The long throw on one hop, not in time. Boy, he's really fortunate. He eventually does get to third, but he probably needed to go back a little sooner. So first and third with one man down.
And it's a good call, Tom. If you hit the ball to right center, your first thing you want to do is you want to freeze. If the ball bounces because the outfielder's going to the left or to the right, you're going to score easily. But good thing he has good speed, or else he would never get there.
So first and third, and Ryan Howard will be the batter. Howard's hit in 4 straight games. Now, we mentioned his numbers here at Coors Field. Well, overall, they're good, but the last 5 times he's played here, he's hitting .429 with 5 RBIs. Three infielders on the right side. And he fouls that first pitch off. It's 0-1. Today's Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Candy Sosha of Aston. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Candy will win $100. That one's pulled sharply into right field, a base hit. 1 run is in. Galvis on his way to third. Howard will hold up at first. It's an RBI single, and it's 1-0 Phillies. 19 RBIs now for Ryan Howard. And we are seeing a very different Ryan Howard over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, we are, and you're seeing a very nice swing, a nice easy swing. Gets a fastball inside. Look how quick he is to the ball right now. Yeah, and this is one of those things where you're not building your team around a lot of power, but you are building your team around speed. So you should be able to do a lot of first and thirds in this ballpark because there's about a quarter of a mile from the infield to the outfielders.
Well, again, Rosario's played first for Morneau. You don't know if Morneau would have had that, but that ball was smoked. And here's Franco, who takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Franco, 250 here in the big leagues with a home run and 2 RBIs after hitting .355 in the minors. Out of play, and it's 0-2. Jim Salisbury from CSNPhilly.com was doing his hit before the game, and he said something kind of interesting, that he thinks Franco will eventually be the Phillies' number 3 hitter as he gets more seasoning. Could you see him as number 3 hitter, Matt?
Right now, no. Potentially, if he gets more at bats. I mean, I think he has a good eye up there. And I think, and we talked about it in the Open, the more he gets an opportunity to play, the more he's going to relax. I would like to see him hit fifth. You know, I like him in the 5-hole. Protects, Ryan Howard or whoever's in the future hitting fourth, because he has good thunder from the right side.
Yeah, I thought it was a good perspective on Jim's part. I hadn't thought about that. That pitch is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Franco is 3 for 12 so far. A chopper towards second base. This might be 2. There's 1 and 2. So the Phils settle for just the 1 run, but they do take the early lead. It's an unearned run as we go to the second, or bottom of the first, I should say. It's 1-0 Phillies. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Leading it off in left field, Charlie Blackmon. Nolan Arenado, the third baseman, bats second. Troy Tulowitzki hits third, followed by Carlos Gonzalez and Willie Rosario. Nick Hundley, the catcher, will bat sixth. The bottom third of Stubbs, LeMahieu, and Jordan Lyles. And they'll face Phillies left-hander Cole Hamels, who gets an early lead, Matt, trying to build on his 3-3 record, a ERA of 3.53.
He's been throwing the ball well his last 2 outings. I think his third outing ago, when against the Marlins, kind of woke him up a little bit. He scuffled down there, but he's coming out and he's throwing first pitch strike. And the Budweiser scouting report on him is 4-pitch pitcher. He's averaging about 91.7 miles an hour on his fastball, and he's a 500 pitcher versus the Rockies in his career.
Well, he'll face Charlie Blackmon to start things off. By the way, we have cleared up the whole instant replay. The Rockies are not being penalized. The umpires are saying they went for a rules check. They were looking at the play at second base, but it was a rules check, as they've termed it. They are allowed to do that. So the Rockies still have their replay privileges. Blackmon shows bunt, punts it in the air, and Howard will pick it out of the air easily. 1 away. Even the bunts they carry farther than usual. There's Nolan Arenado hitting .282, 7 home runs and 19 RBIs. This young man could be the best defensive third baseman in all of baseball. He's won back-to-back Gold Gloves over at third base. He makes highlight reel plays all the time. Takes a fastball up and away. It's 1-0. Another one high. It's 2-0.
He's a big kid. I was down by the batting cage today. A lot of people towered over me, but he's a big fella.
Well, they really thought here in Colorado that they had an infield that they could lean on, with Arenado at third and Tulowitzki at short, and LeMahieu, who's played very well at second base, And at least for a couple years, Morneau at first. Injuries have really plagued them. Tulowitzki's always injured. And Morneau out with concussion now.
Well, when healthy, that in that lineup playing the infield, that could be the best defensive infield in the major leagues.
There's ball 4, so Arenado works out a walk. During the 2015 season, Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the Phillies, will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Well, that is the 136th walk by Phillies pitching this year. Troy Tulowitzki will take a changeup for a strike, and it's 0-1. Tulowitzki hitting .284, a couple home runs, 11 RBIs. He's had tightness in his quad the last couple of days. All right, so there's moving the body. That's what Ryan Sandberg talked about today, and you talked about how important that's been for Cole Hamels.
Well, especially in this ballpark, all the hitters want to get their arms extended to get the ball elevated. Well, you got to pitch in there with a purpose, move your feet, and it just opens up that outside corner so much with the changeup or a sinker.
And that's 95 on that fastball, and it's 1-2. Tulowitzki, a 4-time All-Star. He is 2 for his last 15. And he throws him a cutter.
Tulowitzki has not changed his stance from day one. He stands up there with that statue, nice and quiet, hands high, the old-fashioned.
Boy, did he get in on him there. And Ryan Howard into foul territory, makes the catch. Yeah, there are 2 outs. That was a heck of a pitch right there by Hamels.
It's great location. It's up high enough to where you can't get the barrel to it. I think it sets up that fastball that was in their side earlier. And they've been watching his tapes and knowing that he's throwing 2-seamers. So now they have to realize they have to protect the outside corner. Very good pitch.
Carlos Gonzalez hitting a .197. Never thought we'd ever see that. He's a lifetime .290 hitter, with great numbers against the Phillies during the course of his career. Fastball inside, 1 ball and no strikes. What does the 2-seamer give Hamels?
Extra movement, late movement, and it keeps left-handed hitters honest. Because a left-handed hitter trying to hit a good 2-seamer from a left-hander, almost impossible to keep fair.
Think about Hamels when he arrived, fastball changeup, basically, right?
Yep.
And now he's got the curveball, which he did have when he was younger, but didn't really throw it a whole lot when he began his major league career, professional career. 1-0 pitch. Just a bit outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. So he has the cutter. So that's his 4th pitch. And now the 2-seamer.
Which he just threw a cutter there at 88. 2-seamer inside, he throws about 92, 93. I don't like a curveball from a left-hander to a left-handed hitter. So you have too much time to react to it. Slider, you usually don't pick the rotation up versus the left-hander. But when a left-hander throws the left-handed hitter a big curveball, you have time to get your foot down early and then react to it. Same as a right-handed pitcher throwing a righty to a curveball to a righty. Two balls, one strike to Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. That's the cutter.
And now it's 2-2. Boy, that had some extra movement on it.
And it's hard. I mean, it's a late break with a cutter at 89 miles an hour. It's almost like a natural slider.
Runner goes. Pitch is chopped right toward Franco, who's playing on the right side. And the side is retired. 5-3 on the putout. No runs, no hits, one man left. We played one. We'll head to the second. Happened in the top of the first inning. Hunter Wendelstedt and Jerry Lane. Chase Utley's coming up for the Phils to start the top of the second. For more on Chase, let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, we see Chase Utley in the sixth hole once again. That's the third straight game that he's been in the lineup that he is in that sixth hole for Ryan Sandberg. He had the day off yesterday, but in the previous two games that he batted sixth, well, you started to see him come out of the season-long slump that he's been in. 3 for 6. He batted .500, obviously 2 doubles. He had 2 RBIs as well. But really, it started a little bit a while ago, about 8 games ago, where you started to see Chase Utley start to have more quality at bats. And he was batting .287 for 25 in those last 8 games that Chase Utley has been in. So once he hit that .099 mark, that was the low, started to come out of it, guys, and hopefully continues to trend in the right direction.
Yeah, it would be a good sign for the Phillies to get him back rolling again. He hits very well here at Coors Field. .341 average. I mean, it's not .400 like Matt Stairs hit, but .341 average here at Coors Field. Fly ball foul, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chase Utley. Chase average of .138. He's 2 for 6 lifetime against Lyles.
That's that split finger fastball that comes in like a knuckleball.
That one's pulled down the right field line. Chase Utley's going to have an extra base hit here. Gonzalez will play it from the corner, and Utley will stop at second base. Well, that's his 4th double of the year. That's kind of what Murph was talking about. And it's nice to see it continue here for Chase, who is now 4 for his last 9.
Well, and what's nice is that he's putting some very nice swings on some baseballs, and he's not hitting at people. You know, he has that short swing. One thing you're going to find about balls that hit down the line, left field, right field, they will not go foul. You think a ball is going to go down the line and it's going to go foul, it will stay true and it'll stay fair. just because of the altitude. And I was going to go into some more detail, but I don't anymore.
Here's Odubel Herrera. Herrera hitting .265. And he takes low. It's 1-0. I asked Odubel today, I said, so how are pitchers pitching you differently than the first month of the season? And he just said, very. I said, okay. I said, can you expand on that a little bit? And he laughed. He said, more breaking pitches.
Back foot.
Yeah, back foot. And more pitches inside, which we kind of noticed.
Yep.
Broke his bat. That'll get up the over to third. A sliding grab, and Herrera he's out at first base. So they're going to look at that one again. Larry Bowa is already going to the phone. And Ryan Sandberg puts his hand up and comes out. Odubel Herrera is going to stay right at the first base bag. But one thing he has not lost is his overall confidence. All right, so the signal is I think that's too close to call. I think they're going to have to let that one go. It looked like the ball arrived in the glove just before the foot hit the bag.
Well, it's good hustle down the first baseline, but it's a better job of doing your job of getting Chase Utley to third base on a ground ball on the right side.
Yeah, so 4-3 on the putout. It was LeMahieu who made the play. And now the infield is in. Carlos Ruiz is the batter. Carlos, a 5-game hitting streak, hitting .255. And he is hit by a pitch. And that'll bring Hamels to the plate.
Well, this is a fastball inside that just cannot get out of the way. Hits him in the elbow.
Yeah, I think he's going to be wearing an elbow pad after today.
That's one of the pitches right there that you say if it hits him, it hits him. If it doesn't, so what? So he wants to throw inside. If it hits him, no harm, no foul. You have the pitcher up next.
Well, here are the current conditions. Yeah, 49.
Warm.
It's 49 degrees.
Warm.
A little bit of a wind. And Hamels grounds the first pitch foul toward the Rockies dugout. They really have had more rain out in the Denver area than they've had in quite some time. In fact, the joke from a lot of folks around Coors Field is, well, you should see our lawns, how good our lawn looks. But there is rain that's forecasted for the rest of the week. It's kind of a cold rain. 1 ball and 1 strike. In fact, local weatherman Aaron Harang told us that it was a 100% chance of rain tomorrow for most of the day. And he did it without a green screen. Utley hits it towards second base. That might be 2. There's 1 and 2. So the side is retired. The Phillies leave one over at third. Second 4-6-3 double play of the night for the Rockies. We'll move on to the bottom of the second. Phillies take on these Colorado Rockies. It's the start of a 3-game series. A free Fanatic children's book to fans 14 and under. Order your tickets for that 3-game series by going to Phillies.com. Well, there seems to be this continuing conversation about the replay in the first inning, which helped the Phillies score a run. Cole Hamels has all the time he needs to throw because he was the last batter. Now, an interesting point was brought up from the production cavity in between innings, Matt. Cole Hamels hit into a double play. The group asked, why did he not bunt in the top of the seconds?
Well, you got first and third. So if you sacrifice, you can have second, third with 2 outs.
Right.
You're playing for 1 run. Is 1 run going to be enough, or 2 runs going to be enough in Coors Field to win a game? No. So Cole Hamels swings the bat. He swings the bat well. Give him an opportunity to hit the hole at first base and get a bigger inning going.
Here's Willeen Rosario. And Rosario takes high. It's 1 ball and no strikes. I believe there are a lot of thank yous going around the production cavity right now.
They're very welcome. That was a good question. You just don't play for 1 or 2 runs in this ballpark.
Rosario overall hitting .279 with 2 home runs. He's a lifetime .329 hitter against the Phillies with 8 home runs. This is his 18th game during his career at first base. Ground ball through the middle, a base hit, so he keeps on hitting against the Phils. And he's aboard to start the bottom of the second. Tomorrow morning, wake up with Rob Ellis, Julian Mealy, Sarah Baker, and Barrett Brooks on Breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua Joint Replacement Institute. Weekday mornings from 6 until 8 over on the Comcast Network, streaming live on breakfastonbroad.com. Nick Hundley is now the batter. Hundley in his 27th game. He's hit in 15 of his last 17, so that's raised his average to .312. Fastball away. It's 1-0.
Had a chance to play with Nick in San Diego. Good young fella.
Yeah, they thought he was going to be a fixture behind the plate in San Diego for a long time. His numbers against Hamels, his 1 hit is a home run. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Throw to second base, not in time. So Rosario has his first stolen base of the year. Reality, he got a really good jump on Hamels.
Well, you got a great jump because you never expect him to steal second base. And that's a straight steal because he never looked in for a hit and run. And that's how guys who aren't the quickest can get stolen bases, because you kind of forget about him at first base.
Well, he's matched his total of a season ago. He had 1 and only 1. He had 4 the previous year.
It's all about filling the columns. Does he have a triple yet?
He does not have a triple yet. He has not been caught stealing yet.
That's not filling the column.
Well, it's here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hundley.
We want a positive columns.
And Hundley takes a fastball that just missed inside. 2-2. What are you seeing right now from Hamels? Is still trying to feel his way through here?
I see his fastball is very good. He's fighting his changeup a little bit.
That one's grounded off the mound. Galvis has it, gets to his feet, throws to first in time. Over to third base goes Rosario. There's 1 out here in the second.
Well, we've seen this play probably 3-4 times down the last homestand easily. He's holding them on tightly, and then all of a sudden he gets a great jump to his left. Slide gets the big thing right there is he doesn't get up and doesn't rush and throw. He knows he has time. does a nice job of getting up, throwing a strike to first base.
So 1 out, runner at third. Drew Stubbs is the batter. Stubbs 1 for 11 in the series against the Dodgers that just wrapped up for the Rockies. And he's laid on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's 0-1.
That's what you call great location. There's nothing you can do. They tied him up. Arms couldn't get extended.
Late again. That one at 95. But if you're Ruiz, you probably just keep throwing the same thing.
A little higher.
See what he's done with the count 0-2 so far. 0 for 10, 10 strikeouts. Go high, and it's 1-2.
Do it again. Stay up there. Unless he goes for the strikeout and throws a changeup. Curveball.
And a call. Strike 3. 0 for 11 with 11 strikeouts. First strikeout of the night for Hamels.
Well, this is surprising. It's his first curveball he's thrown all night. And what a time to throw it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Very nice curveball.
Here's DJ LeMahieu. Those are his current numbers. There was a point in early May when he was hitting 400. But he's 5 for his last 36. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. So the comparisons: 406 in April, 167 in May. He and D. Gordon were jockeying for the top spot for the month of April. And he shoots that one through the hole on the right side. And the Rockies are going to tie this ball game up. Well, the pitcher was due up next. Thought maybe they'd be careful with LeMahieu, but that pitch was left out over the plate. And he was able to pick up his 17th RBI of the season.
Yeah, he definitely have to make a better pitch. I know he missed his target. It was supposed to be a fastball up and in, but it was a fastball away. And like you said, Tom, pitcher's on deck. You cannot let your 8-hole hitter beat you in that situation.
Here is Jordan Lyles. It takes a change up, and it's 1-0. Goes. Pitch is low. Throw to second base is wide, and he goes into center field. I know he's going to stop at second. So 2 stolen bases against Ruiz and Hamels here.
Well, they must have something on Hamels because they've been getting very good jumps, and I think a lot has to do with having EY as the first base coach.
Yeah, Eric Young Sr. is the first base coach, and he was a good base stealer during his day. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
By the way, it's Eric Young Sr.'s birthday today.
Did you wish him happy birthday?
No, I'll see him tomorrow.
Up low, it's 3-1. Charlie Blackmon is on deck. Fly ball, center field. Playable for Herrera. And the inning is over. But the Rockies do tie it up. An RBI single by DJ LeMahieu. We'll move to the third in a 1-1 game. to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Matt, the question is, what former Phillies pitcher did the Rockies select with the 25th pick in the 1992 expansion draft? What former Philly pitcher?
Right-hander?
Right-hander, yeah. Answer will be revealed a little later on. Cole Hamels has allowed 1 run so far in 2 innings of work. Hoping his offense will get something going against Jordan Lyles here. Phillies had a prime opportunity to add to their lead in their half of the second, but were not able to do it. It'll be Ben Revere, Freddie Galvis, Grady Sizemore, top of the order.
Tall right-hander?
Yeah, I think he was reasonably tall. Ben takes wide. It's 1-0. Ben 4 hits now in his last 2 ball games. And he chops that one into the Rockies dugout. So aside from the altitude, what made this ballpark so good to hit? You hit 400 here during your career. What made it so good?
Because your right field line is 350 feet and your left field line is 347 feet. There's a lot of real estate out there. One thing about standing in the batter's box is that batter's eye is very good.
All the trees and the shrubbery.
Yeah, it's huge. And you do not see any infielders or outfielders when you're hitting because it's so big.
3-1 to Revere. Well, it's looked like that since the ballpark opened. Outside, ball 4. I don't think you'd find a ballpark at Petco before they redid it, Citi Field before they redid it, that has more real estate than this one. And they haven't changed a thing.
Well, and the thing in this ballpark is that the outfielders can play a little shallower because usually any ball hit over your head is going to be a home run anyway. But what you do is you kind of pinch the gaps. You allow the balls down the left field line or right field line because they're going to be doubles no matter what. You try to stay away from the gaps and take away the triples.
Freddie Galvis reached on an error his first time up. Time is called. Another one outside. It's 1-0. Does not have that big of a lead, so he's able to get back easily.
This might be a good time to do a hit and run right here. He's having a hard time finding the strike zone. He wants to groove a fastball to get back into a pitcher's count.
Not 2-0.
That's why I'm up here.
Now, would you do the same thing here, or would you just take a strike here?
Well, now you take a strike.
And then maybe do it with the count 2-1.
If it goes 2-1, then be aggressive.
And popped it up. So much for taking a strike. Arenado over at third, makes the catch. And one away. Grady Sizemore is coming up. Well, we discussed how good it is offensively to hit here, but home runs, Murph, are strangely down at Coors Field. Part of that is because the Rockies aren't hitting a whole lot, and the weather hasn't been all that great either.
Well, you're exactly right, Tom. You know, you talk about this park, and ever since it's been open, the offense has always been, it's been one of the top parks for offense, both, guys and batting average for the guys on the Rockies, but home runs as well. Since 2014, yep, right there on top, 2.5 home runs per game on average here at Coors Field. But as you mentioned, Tom, this year it is way down. It's down to about just a tick over 2 home runs per game. That is good for 11th in baseball right now. So in 2015, they are 11th. And I think you've nailed it right on top of the head. I talked to a couple people with the Rockies, and they said, the weather has been really bad, for most of their season, their home season, and the ball's just not flying like it normally is. Now, that will probably change, and you'll probably watch Coors Field kind of tick up that list as the season goes on. But right now, as we sit in, midway through May, it's 11th on the list of home runs, and that is an oddity for sure.
We'll see if the Phillies can help that along during this series. They said they've usually hit well here. The runner goes. Hundley's throw is going to be wide of second, and Revere has stolen his 8th bag of the season. So 3 stolen bases between the two teams. The Phils have a runner in scoring position.
Well, neither team are hitting a lot of home runs, but they decide they're going to steal a lot of bases tonight. Ben's getting a very nice jump right there. And all 3 stolen bases so far have been off the pitchers.
Yeah, there's been no chance for the catchers to do anything. You mentioned Nick Hundley has thrown out about 28% of the runners who have attempted to steal against him. 1 ball, no strikes to Grady Sizemore. And he takes on the outside corner, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Tonight's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television to change the language through the menu on your cable box. Revere did not have an overwhelmingly large lead at second base.
That's the move they got to take out of baseball. That inside move to second base. To take the third to first away, take that one away. That one never works.
Way outside, it's 2-1. All right, so we'll take that away, but we need to implement the arguing.
Yes. And the collisions at home plate.
Well, I think that's the first one they should add back. Back to the screen. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sizemore, who is hitting .375 in his last 15 ball games. Ron Sandberg kind of said yesterday, he goes, yeah, we're going to ride the hot hand. Steve Henderson's excited about it. In fact, Steve, the Phillies offense hasn't been that great the last couple of years, but this 5-game winning streak, Steve is a very intense fellow. He's gotten to smile a little bit because of this 5-game winning streak. Another foul ball, remains 2-2. Numbers have improved overall, and that has also helped his numbers with runners in scoring position. He has one here. So this Phillies certainly are not shy of base runners tonight, but when they get those base runners, they have not been able to pick up many hits. They only have 1.
This is the cutter up in the zone. Good location. Fouls it off. But it's true. I mean, sorry, Tom. It's true. They've had some opportunities to score some runs and haven't come up with a big hit yet. Besides Ryan's hit in the first inning.
Yeah, they're 1 for 8 with men on base so far tonight. And Ryan's hit is that only one. He now has 19 runs batted in. Pitch outside. That was a cutter. And it's 1 ball, no strikes.
So this is the same situation right here as earlier when Cole was pitching and gave up a hit to the 8-hole hitter. You have 2-0. You don't want to give Ryan Howard nothing to hit because you have a rookie on deck. So you pitch around him. Do not throw him a strike. If you walk him, so what?
All right, what was that pitch there, though?
Split finger.
But was that, I guess that was close enough to the strike zone. It probably would have been a ball.
Right, but it's not Ryan Howard's pitch.
Right.
You know, this is where you got to sit dead red fastball. If you get a fastball, go ahead and hit it. But now you're getting into an area where it's 2-0. You're swinging at the pitcher's pitch, so you're helping him out.
Yeah, looking at the replay, it would have been called a strike, but as you said, it wasn't Ryan's pitch. There's a high fly ball, right center field. Drew Stubbs, the center fielder. Carlos Gonzalez, the right fielder. Nick Stubbs, who makes the call. Phillies leave another one in scoring position. So they've left 3 in scoring position tonight. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. Buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. Well, walking through the concourse tonight, there are a lot of Phillies fans who are out here in the Denver area getting a chance to watch this series. It's a 4-game set, 3 night games, and then the day game on Thursday. And we begin the bottom of the 3rd. Charlie Blackmon leads it off and takes the pitch a bit high, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Blackmon tried to bunt his way on his first time up. He popped out to Howard. He's right down the chute, and it's 1-1. Pretty awkward swing there by Blackmon.
This was a very nice cutter.
Out towards short, backhanded by Galvis. That's a pretty smooth play right there. He cut it off before it got deep. Well, the Rockies are coming to town, as we mentioned before. Make your plans for plenty of weekend baseball. Friday, May 29th, it's Comcast Fanatic About Reading. Fanatic Children's Book to fans 14 and under. Saturday the 30th is Numar's Kids Run the Bases after the game. And then Sunday the 31st, Wistar Institute Melanoma Awareness Day presented by Independence Blue Cross. and Citizens Bank. That bucket hat right there is free to fans 14 and under. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets.
Are we going to wear that on the air that night?
It's a kid's hat. You and I have pretty big heads. We're not going to be able to put that on. Way upstairs, it's 1-0. We could probably get Murph to wear it. He's like Mikey. He'll do anything.
I do have a small melon.
I was going to say, your squash is a lot smaller than ours. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's the fedora that they gave out here at Coors Field tonight. They only gave out 1, but somehow those gentlemen were able to collect a few extras. They must know somebody. Curveball chopped foul. And it's 1-2. Phillies fans were a little smarter than we were. They dressed for the weather. Some winter coats, some hats. Swing and a miss. And Arenado is struck out. Second strikeout for Hamels. And there are 2 outs here in the third. Trying to Major League Scoreboard. The Dan Jennings era is underway. And his first game is an extra inning ball game. It's 2-2 in the bottom of the 11th. I watched some of his press conference today. He was announced officially at 11 a.m. Eastern time that he was the new manager. He's the former general manager. And as Tulowitzki takes inside, they said, well, do you have any managerial experience? He said, well, I coached a high school team about 25 years ago.
Didn't he say he knew all the players' names?
Knew all the players' names.
That's a good thing.
Very outspoken.
That's a good thing. Knowing the players is a key.
He caught you off guard when you saw him in.
Yes, he did.
Was it in Philly or in Florida? It was in Philly when he said, hey, Stairsy, and you're like, I don't know who you are.
Caught me off guard.
1 ball and 1 strike. Now his contract, he still has his contract as the general manager. So they're saying that he'll be the manager for the rest of this year, but that they expect that he'll be successful and that he'll carry it on beyond 2015. If not, I assume he'll go back to his GM role.
So who's the GM now?
They hired his assistant GM as the GM. Tulowitzki lines it over the tarp. It's 1-2.
So who's the assistant?
I don't think they have one. Here are the managers that have been fired already. Ron Renneke fired from the Brewers. Mike Redmond, of course, in the middle of his 3rd year with the Marlins. One-two pitch. Breaking ball, and that just missed. 2-2. This
is a nice curveball.
This is wide. It's pretty close there. Carlos did kind of reach because he was setting up inside.
Another one.
Check swing that time. It's 3-2. Base hit for Tulowitzki. He was 0 for 7 against the Dodgers and was 0 for 1 tonight before that single. So he's aboard with 2 men down. Well, it's time to take a look at our T-Mobile game changer. Murph talked about the home runs being hit here at Coors Field. The Rockies are still leading the league in batting average at .292. In fact, they're 6th overall with their home and road numbers. The National League average is .256. Cardinals, Dodgers, the Braves at .268 is kind of surprising. The Diamondbacks I don't think that's that surprising, even though we saw them this weekend. Obviously, they weren't home. But talking to Tom Runnels today, he said, "What did you guys do with the Diamondbacks?" And he said, "Because they hit us. Yeah, they hit us pretty hard." There's TR. Former manager of Matt's Montreal Expos. No balls and 1 strike to Gonzalez. And it's 0-2.
So first day, your Reynolds quick story. First day of spring training, we show up, he comes out in his Army gear. And we think, okay, this is going to be like boot camp. We have a long drive contest from home plate to see how far you can hit the ball.
He could hit a golf ball.
Yes, he could.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. And fastball fouled at the plate. It remains 0-2. Who won the contest?
Larry Walker did.
After he left the Expos, he went to the Detroit Tigers. He was with the Tigers organization for a long time as a manager in the minor leagues. Once again, the 0-2 pitch to Gonzalez. Chopper right side. Utley cuts it off. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. So we're through 3 here at Coors Field. Phillies and the Rockies tied up at 1. Michael Franco is coming up. Michael is bringing the lumber. Brought to you by Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. And Matt, you talked about this at length in the open about the separation between foot going down and hands going back.
Oh, and that's the key for him. As soon as he gets the foot down, he recognizes the pitch, and he doesn't get tied up. His first at bat hit the ground ball. His second, he kind of caught in between. That's why he smothered the ball, which means he swung on the top of it. But when he gets it down early and gets his hands back, the bat whip and the bat speed is something I haven't seen, last year or in spring training. But when he gets the separation down, he's got tremendous bat speed.
Well, last time he was up, he hit the ball sharply, but it was a 4-6-3 double play. He'll lead things off here in the top of the 4th. It'll be Franco, Utley, and Odubel Herrera. Goes after a breaking ball in the first pitch.
Yeah, this is the home run swing yesterday. Look how early the foot's down, which allows the hips to go back, the hands go up, and there's that separation. When you don't get your foot down early enough, your upper body goes into your lower half, and that's why you hit a lot of ground balls. So you need that separation.
That will be a pitch that he'll have to continue to work on. When he just fouled off to the third base dugout.
But and the one thing he has to work on is knowing that he has good power to right center. Just so stay with it.
Lays off this time. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Raquel's family got a chance to come down and watch him play the last couple of days at Citizens Bank Park. They live in the Boston area, so they were able to come down and see him play. This one again to the right side. LeMahieu charges. And one away here in the fourth. Pulling a doubleheader at the office. Look no further than W.B. Mason's wide selection of Green Mountain Coffee K-Cup pods to keep you running. Order by 11:30 and get free same-day delivery. Who but W.B. Mason? There's Chase Utley. Utley doubled his first time up. He's one of 3 base runners that have been stranded over in scoring position so far for the Phils. Low and in. Oh no, on the inside corner. 0-1. Check swing over to Arenado. That's one of the reasons why he's so good at third. Utley is moving up the first base line, and you see the zip on that throw from third base.
Got a tremendous arm, that's for sure. This little check swing, sinker away. Chase is hustling down. He comes up and throws it about 100 across the infield.
Well, now Odubel Herrera, who grounded out his first time up. We didn't get a chance to really talk about how pitchers are pitching him and how he can compensate for that. Is it something with his front foot? He said it's closed a little bit more. It doesn't look as exaggerated, but it's still open.
Yeah, and it's not exaggerated as much as it was in batting practice today. He was closed up when he was hitting in batting practice. He's a little closer, or a little tighter. But he's getting beat with fastballs inside. He's getting beat with sliders downing in or curveballs downing in. And the reason why is that with that big leg kick, if the timing's off, you start going forward with your whole body, and your head moves, which changes the strike zone. So if he can get the leg up and sit there and recognize it, then swing. See, that one right there was better because it was up earlier and he recognized the pitch. Hitting earlier is better than hitting than being late when you need to start your swing.
Inside, 3-1.
Sarahara, the great home run hitter in Japan, used to get his leg up real early and just recognize pitches. When he gets his leg up, it just sits there. But see, he's actually instead of the leg going straight up, is that he's turning the knee in, which turns your whole upper body, which becomes a spin swing.
Well, that's why I guess we see him swing off his front foot so often when he's full. When he's lined foul, and it remains 3-2.
Now this is for the side. If he could get his leg up and stop it, see how he turns his knee in?
Yeah.
If he could keep his knee just going straight up, what happens is when you turn your knee in, now all of a sudden your upper body swings. You open up your hip to go back to hit where your upper body goes with it. And that's why he does the awkward swings. And that's why at a young age he has an infield shift already on.
He is struck out to finish up the fourth inning. The first 1-2-3 inning for Jordan Lyles. Phillies go down quietly. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Rosario will lead it off when we come back. sales event ends June 1st. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places. And buy Bud Light Lime, the perfect beer for whatever happens. Bottom of the fourth inning, the Phillies won, Rockies won. All right, Matt, the continued tutelage of Odubel Herrera.
Well, if you draw a line right down here, that's where his body is supposed to stay, and your head's supposed to stay as close to that line as you can. Now, all of a sudden, if you roll, as we're rolling it, see how far his head starts going away from that line? And that means your whole body's going towards the pitcher, where you have nothing on your backside to push off to drive the ball. And that's why he's taking those swings where it looks like he's using all upper body swing.
Yeah.
Because he has no lower half to push off, because his whole momentum is going towards the pitcher, including his head.
I think that makes sense, and it's why pitchers are able to get him out on that front foot, and he's not able to make any good contacts. Rosario singles through the hole on the right side, so it's the second time tonight he has led off an inning with a base hit. First time he scored. And now Nick Hundley is coming up. Hundley grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Fly ball right field. Brady Sizemore is getting under it. Rosario is going to try to tag. Rosario will stop after Sizemore lets loose of that throw. And there's one away. Drew Stubbs is coming up. Let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, we're going to get you update on a couple of roster moves that the Phillies had to make because of a couple of injuries that have happened since we played yesterday. We got word after the game yesterday that Chad Billingsley is headed to the disabled list because he has a grade 2 sprain of his lat, and he is having a little bit of trouble with that. So he is headed. He's going to be out probably 4 to 6 weeks is what they're thinking right now. So that means Severino Gonzalez is going to be called up from AAA. He will make the start here on Wednesday. It was his normal day to start down there in the down at AAA, so that's going to work out just fine for the Phils. Of course, we saw Severino a couple of times already making 2 spot starts. And also David Buchanan, you see there, he injured himself while playing down at AAA. Severely sprained ankle. He is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. He was trying to field a bunt. He turned that right ankle of his, and I saw the video. He was in severe pain. They're calling it a severe sprained ankle. 6 to 8 weeks for David Buchanan. So a couple of bumps in the road for some starting pitchers for the Phils. But we will see Severino Gonzalez here on Wednesday, guys.
Yeah, the shame of it is for David, as Murph said, it's at least 6 to 8 weeks. So that's going to take him probably till the end of July, beginning of August before he throws again. And I think Jim Salisbury even said it today when he was doing his pregame hit. No team in Major League Baseball can afford to lose one of your lead guys in AAA, which is where David is, because it really does put added pressure on the depth of your staff. Part of it, the reason why the Phillies put Felipe Almonte into the rotation in AAA, and doing an extra pitcher, and he's done pretty well. 1-1 pitch is hit towards center field. Odubel did not see it. Now he comes running in, and he can't get it. It hits off his glove, and nobody was backing it up or standing in front of him, so the runners advance an extra base. He just didn't see it from the time it left its bat, and he was waving his arms as if to signal. Galvis was sprinting out there as well. It's going to go down as a double.
As soon as the ball's hit in the air, right there, all of a sudden he puts his hands up. He doesn't know where it is. And by the time he recognizes where it is, it's a little too late. He was off his glove.
Boy, Galvis was really hustling out there, and because he passed him, he couldn't field that in front. But that ball hits right off the glove, and he kicks it.
Should be ruled in there.
Well, I think every score is different, and there are sort of unwritten or written rules that they have to go by. They have not signaled yet what it is. But the Rockies have runners on second and third, and they have scored it a double. Stubbs runs well. Rosario read it well. And here's LeMahieu, who is 1 for 1. Fouls it away. It's no balls and 1 strike. Hit an empty seat over the first base dugout. And it's 0-2. Very good numbers with runners in scoring position, considering he's batting in the 8 hole. 0-2 pitch. Another one fouled away. Going out to the mound to chat with Cole Hamels here with runners on second and third.
And I'll talk about that play in center field. When a ball goes up in the air and an outfielder has a hard time seeing it or he does not see it, you need to stand your ground. Stay where you are. You can't back up. You can't come forward. Eventually you're going to see it. A lot of outfielders will, and we're taught to tap our top of our hat, which means that we did not see the ball, which does not give it away to the runners so they can advance to going from first to third.
Swing and a miss. He got him. Went upstairs with that pitch. Just the second or third strikeout, excuse me, for Hamels. And they're 2 outs. That's kind of interesting, Matt, that you said that as we look at this strikeout.
You know, no balls, 2 strikes, fastball in the zone. But that's what a lot of guys have done. I mean, you don't want to give away that you can't see it. Especially a young player, you don't think he's going to be up there faking that he can't see it.
Lyles swings and misses this one. It's 0-1.
So a lot of times as an outfielder, if I didn't see the ball, right-handed would be tapping on the top of the head. Means I don't see it. I need help.
Galvis realized that he was trying to get out there, but it was just too far away from him. Down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
They always tell the infielders to point at the ball the whole way out. It doesn't help.
Does it help when the corner outfielders yell something? And did they help at all?
No, not really. Because once they see you're in that panic mode, they can't seeing it. Their head's down, they run over to help you out.
Jerry Lane looked over to the Phillies dugout. Somebody said something on that last pitch. Saw Cole's reaction from it. Change up and 2-2. Now somebody yelled for the Rockies. Oh, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lyles with runners on second and third here in the bottom of the 4th. Now it's 3-2. They try the curveball to freeze Jordan Lyles. Rosario leads off third. Stubbs off second. And Blackman on deck. Swing and a miss. He got it with a cutter. Boy, down and in. It was a tough pitch. 4 strikeouts for Hamels. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left in scoring position. Answer. All right, Matt, here's the question. What former Phillies pitcher did the Rockies select with the 25th pick in the 1992 expansion drafts?
Andy Ashley.
Andy
Ashley?
Ashby.
Ashby. Did I say Andy Ashley?
You said Ashley.
So do I get a bill?
Well, we already rang it. So.
Andy Ashley, that was a band.
Well, it could have been. It does sound like a singer.
Singer.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Andy Ashby spent 2 stints with the Phillies. Played 8 years with San Diego after pitching 1 season with the Rockies. He was 0-4 with Colorado, part of 1 season. 0-2 to Carlos Ruiz. As we start the top of the 5th inning, it'll be Ruiz, Hamels, and then the top of the order against Lyles, who's retired 6 straight. Carlos was hit his last time up. And that one is shot right at the first baseman, so went away. Cole Hamels is coming up during the break in between the bottom of the 4th, top of the 5th. Odubel Herrera talking to Andres Blanco, who has been a sort of a guiding light for a lot of the young players. Juan Samuel handles the outfielders. Also came in to chat with Odubel, and he spoke with Ben Revere too. I think he was telling Ben that next time that happens, get over to that area a little quicker to back up, or in this case, handle the ball that comes forward. No balls and 1 strike to Hamels. Outside, 1-1. Hamels hit into a double play his first time up. And Rosario makes the play on this one. 2 outs. Nemours Kids Run the Bases will take place after the Phillies take on the Colorado Rockies on May 30th. It's a 3:05 first pitch, so if you want to run the bases afterward, come on out to the ball game. You can order your tickets by going to Phillies.com. They're too old to run the bases. We'd like to see them come out to the ballpark anyway. Beer has singled and scored. He's also walked. He has stolen a base. His average up to 260.
It's funny how you watch hitters when they're hitting, and first thing I watch is Ben's elbows to see if he taps them in time for his. That's where he does his timing. Sometimes he'll clap them twice together, sometimes once.
That one shot through the hole on the left side. It was a quick tap that time, and he's 2 for 2. And that tap just triggers everything else that's part of his swing. The little hitch that he has, getting his hands back where they need to be.
Yeah, and I think a lot has to do with it. It relaxes his upper body. You know, he has a big hitch for a leadoff hitter. And I can't get over the shift they had him on. Tulowitzki was playing almost behind the bag at second base.
Yeah, they were definitely playing him to pull. Galvis is 0 for 2, reached on an error his first time up. By the way, we told you we'd get you an explanation on that error and the 2 replay instances that Major League Baseball had. Major League Baseball told us that the umpires were confirming that Colorado could not challenge the placement of the runners by the replay official. That aspect is non-reviewable, so that's why Colorado was not charged a challenge, as that throw nearly got reviewed. Now, I think everybody at home would probably say the same thing that I said.
Quick move right there. Quick move, slow tag.
That's low 1-0. I think everybody's saying the same thing at home that we were saying is, what could they be challenging for the placement of the base runners? But that's the explanation that they gave. Just asked if it was 1-1. The throw over, and he does get back. Rosario nearly fell into, well, he did fall into him, but nearly knocked him off the bag when he fell into him.
Now that's a quick pickoff. It's almost a block move. That's close.
Got his hand right under the leg of Rosario. That is close.
The reason why I call it's almost a box is because that the back foot right here has to clear the rubber. You just can't spin. You can't land on the rubber. You're supposed to clear it to throw it to first base.
I think you could be right.
Outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So you can see the mechanics of Rosario. You know, they are awkward a little bit because he's only played.
He's a catcher.
Yeah, he's a catcher. He's only played 18 games over at first. High fly ball out to right field. Gonzalez going back to the track, and he makes the catch. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th as the rain starts to fall here in Colorado. In the greater Philadelphia region, there's ample opportunity to help build houses, volunteer, or be a mentor. Visit citizensbank.com/community to learn more. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal, and that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank. Bottom of the 5th inning, it's 1-1, the Phillies and the Rockies. I mentioned the rain started to fall in the top of the 5th inning. Kind of light right now. Charlie Blackmon leads it off. 71st pitch for Hamels. They've made him work here tonight. The 1 pitch to Blackmon on the inside corner, and it's 0-2. That was a changeup. Charlie Blackmon had a very good year last year. He had 288. He had 19 home runs. He's down on strikes. He had a very good year last year, but he didn't have a very good swing there. That's 5 strikeouts for Hamels. Follow the Phillies all season in 2015 with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. 5 strikeouts now for Hamels.
3 straight.
Since that double was misplayed by Odubel Herrera. It's out of play, and it's 0-1.
Cole had a tough time early in the game throwing first pitch strikes. Now he's 12-20, and that's 8 straight hitters where he's thrown first pitch strikes. So that just shows you how key it is for him to throw that first pitch strike. That way he can mix in with his changeup and his curveball.
We mentioned that they've made him work. He's thrown 28 of his pitches with 2 outs in this game. So through 4 innings with 2 outs, they're not going down easy. That's part of the reason why they've had base runners in every inning. See his comparisons between home and road. And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Foul back to the screen. Swing and a miss. He got him in some high heat. 6 strikeouts, 4 in a row for Hamels. All right, Matt, so he's getting better as this game's moving on.
Well, he is. His velocity is very good. He's got a very nice curveball working tonight. And when he needs to get a strikeout, he's mixing in the high fastball. Very good cutter. I like what I see. I mean, he's getting runners on, but he's bearing down, and he's getting some quality pitches when he needs to.
The Phillies have scored just 1 run for him. That came in the first inning. Now Tulowitzki, who's 1 for 2, singled up the middle his last time up. He takes a big packet of curveball. It's 0-1. The rumors have been surrounding Tulowitzki these last several years here in Colorado. Rockies are a team that is in 5th place in the West. They've been sitting toward the bottom of the National League West for a good part of the last few years. Do they deal Tulowitzki and Carlos Gonzalez before the trade deadline, and what can they get in return for those 2 guys? It's the last time that they did anything postseason wise. And when they won the National League pennant in 2007, they did make it in 08. 0-2 pitch to Tulowitzki. And he gets that one toward third. Diving stop. Franco to his feet. Zips the throw over in time. And the side is retired. Well, that's some defense over there at third base for Maikel Franco. That ball was past him when he was able to grab it. It's a 1-2-3 5th inning. Well, they said he has turned himself into a plus defender. Well, he certainly has a plus arm, as you see right there. Is the new franchise leader in saves. The Phillies added Jonathan to their bullpen in November of 2011, and he has stepped out of the bullpen and has delivered time and time again with the best save percentage in team history. His first save as a Philly came against Pittsburgh in April of 2012. The record-setting save once again left the Pirates on the short ends. Papelbon has slammed the door on a major milestone in Philadelphia. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Jonathan Papelbon was making his way out toward the Phillies bullpen as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Grady Sizemore will lead it off. He's 0 for 2. It's a 1-1 game. Ground ball to second base. Mayhew up with it. Ryan Howard's coming to the plate. Matt Stairs is very disappointed that it's a 1-1 game at Coors Field.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. Credit to the pitchers.
Oh, yeah.
Phillies' future right fielder's enjoying himself here tonight. Well, speaking of Coors Field, the Phillies 33-12 in the last 45 regular season games against the Rockies, and 14-7 here at Coors Field. Success from the postseason is carried over to the regular season. Ryan Howard takes a strike. It's 0-1. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Howard. Howard is a single to right field. Now knocked in the only run for the Phils back in the first. He's also fly to center. And now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Now watch the last 3 takes that Ryan Howard has taken there, and he is picking up the ball so early, not even offering to swing at those pitches.
Goes on deck. Not a bad pitch to hit. Probably crowded him just a little too much.
Yeah, it was a pretty good cutter.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Budweiser still brewed the hard way. This Bud's for you. Foul ball. It remains 3-2. With his base hit tonight, Howard is now 11 for his last 34, so hitting over 300 during that stretch. It carries to the homestands. Chopper right side, and the Mayhew comes sliding in to make the play, and they're 2 outs. Well, it's time now for our Hyundai defensive plays of the game. This is Freddie Galvis early in this ball game against the Rockies.
Yeah, makes a very nice play up to his left. Doesn't panic, goes a strike to Ryan Howard at first base. And Tulowitzki gets the ball to Bronco at third base. Gets up and throws a hose across first base. And that's why it's a defensive play of the game is brought to you by Hyundai. Showing off the arm.
Showing off the arm. I mean, that's a big league arm right there. Well, after the 8-pitch at bat to Howard, here is Franco, who is 0 for 2. And he fouls it off to the right. It's 0-1.
I agree with what he just did there. He was doing that with his hand, telling himself to stay through the ball. He didn't do it.
Yeah, he lunged at that breaking pitch.
What he needs to do is drive a ball to right center for a home run, and then he can trust himself.
Well, there's a base hit to the right side. Maybe that trust is building a little bit. A 2-out single, and that'll bring Chase Utley to the plate. We saw some of the highlights of Franco when he was down at AAA. He was going the other way with power.
Yeah, he was.
And that's one of the reasons why they felt like, all right, he's more than ready to be up here in the big leagues, because he's starting to use his power to all fields.
I just noticed when we saw the highlights down in the AAA, his home run, his triple, it was the tremendous bat speed, which we have not seen. And I think this is going to help him have an opportunity to play every day.
Utley is 1 for 2. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Chase is now 3 for 8 against Lyles in his career.
You think a home run here?
I'll take it. Right here?
Yeah.
Or in this at bat?
In this at bat.
Fouls it back. It's 1-2. His double tonight has put him ahead of Sherry McGee on the Phillies all-time list. Next up is Bobby Abreu. 348.
479.
I asked Ben this the other day if Rollins has put enough equity into his lead. Probably has. High 2-2. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 86 pitches now for Jordan Lyles with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Saw a shot of his hand as soon as that line drive hit him. Last time out against the Angels, he went only 1 inning. When Pujols hit him with the line drive. The dirt 3-2, and it swelled up fast. That's why I was surprised that a few days later he's able to grip a baseball. Hit him right on the right hand, his throwing hand. Herrera on deck. Runner goes, pitches outside, ball 4. No home run, but it does keep the line moving. That brings Herrera to the plate. I think if you're Walt Weiss, you might like this matchup better anyway.
Well, it's all about positive thoughts, Tom. Gets a home run, it's positive, he walks. Now we get to see Herrera hit a double somewhere. I'd like to see him hit a ball in the gap. See how quick he can get around the bases.
Yeah, the gap here, I mean, he's got Stubbs, who runs well, and Gonzalez, who runs okay out in right field. If he can get into the gap, it'll challenge both of those guys.
It's going to be tough because they know this ballpark and they can take the gaps away from the hitters.
Take their lead off first and second. In the dirt, 1 ball, no strikes. I would think that the Rockies will start to get somebody up if Herrera does wind up reaching. His pitch count, it's up to 89, which isn't a big deal. He only pitched 1 inning his last time, but he's got a lot of pitches in this inning alone. This is number 20 in this inning. And a line drive down the right field line. Gonzalez won't get it. 1 run will score. Franco is here. Here comes Chase Utley rounding third. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate is way offline. In fact, it splits Ruiz and Franco. And the Phillies lead it 3-1. Pete Buchanan being aggressive over the third base coach's box. And that aggressiveness pays off. Job by Herrera too to keep on going to third.
No, very good job. He read the throw was going to home plate. He was being aggressive. He gets a fastball inside. Very nice. He gets back nice and early. Drives that ball through the ball. Drives it down the right field corner. Gonzalez did a nice job of getting it in quick and hitting the cutoff man, but Chase coming around bases and scores very easily.
Yeah, LeMahieu's throw went way offline. I mean, Ruiz and Franco are lucky they didn't get hit by that ball. Carlos Ruiz floats one out toward right center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. An RBI single. It's now 4-1. Phillies on top. So a bloop single. Phillies fans finally have something to cheer about. And Steve Foster's going to come out to talk to Jordan Lyles, and somebody is now getting up in the bullpen for the Colorado Rockies.
It's huge getting 4 straight runners on with 2 outs.
That's the left-hander Friedrich who's warming up in the bullpen. So the meeting on the mound is over. This has been a very productive inning for the Phils. It starts with the single by Franco, then the walk by Utley, the 2-run double for Herrera, who goes to third on the throw and then scores on the single by Ruiz. And Hamels, who is 0 for 2, will get a chance to bat here. Healthy hack right there. It's 0-1. He's up there freewheeling now, isn't he?
Have you ever asked Cole if he enjoys pitching or hitting more? What do you think he would say?
Boy, he's had a whole lot more success in the pitching category, but he certainly looks like he enjoys the hitting. So he's made a little adjustment in his stance too. He's got a little more momentum with it.
Relaxed elbow.
Yeah, movement in his arms. 1-2 pitch. Doesn't help. He's down on strikes. Threw the equalizer there. And the side is retired, but the Phils scored 3 runs. A 2-run double by Herrera. An insurance base hit by Ruiz. It's 4-1 Phillies. lead here at Coors Field. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 4-1. Herrera's double scored 2. He went to third on the throw. Here's the swing right here. He gets the fastball and he rips it into right field. And Carlos Gonzalez got to it as his throw, the throw toward home, hits both runners. And a little emotion and the horns. It's not hook'em horns, Murph. There's a little different story to it.
No, it is not hook'em horns, but we heard this when Odubel was made part of the Phillies team, that his nickname was El Toro. He got that nickname actually from his father. I asked him about it today. From a very young age, he was being called El Toro. And then when he was playing in the winter ball in the Venezuelan league, his teammates got a hold of that nickname, and it became a thing in winter ball. So now the Phillies also have picked up on that, and you'll see that is in their dugout right now.
That's El Toro?
Yes, that is El Toro. Now, that was given to the Phils, it was given to Odubel by one of the fans back in Philadelphia, and in the last couple of games, they've had it in the dugout on top of their water cooler. I asked Odubel today if it has made the trip to Colorado. He said, yep. Chooch packed it in his bag and brought it along with. And you'll notice that some of the guys are doing the horns when they get an extra base hit. So that's what that's all about. It's all in deference to El Toro, who had the big hit here tonight, guys.
Well, thank goodness El Toro had that big hit. Probably made him feel pretty good that he was able to turn on that inside fastball.
There he is.
He's got a blanket. He's cold. He's cold, El Toro, so they got him warmed up a little bit.
It's called his Frio.
Frio, yeah.
He's Frio.
Come on, Tom.
I have to admit, I was surprised that he was wrapped up like that. There's Willeen Rosario, who's 2 for 2. He takes strike 1. It's 0-1. I actually thought we would see a ferocious stuffed bull, if there is anything that could look ferocious, and he stuffed out of it. That one's back toward the middle. Utley's got it. Steps on the second base bag. Throws to first in time. The double play. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Top of the bat went out toward the mound.
Cole Hamels needed this right here. Wanted to get Rosario off the bases, but made a very nice pitch to blow the bat up, and Chase does a nice play, double play. Pitcher's best friend.
And although Galvis was at the bag, it made sense for Chase because he wasn't too far away. He just taken himself.
Especially on a short flip from infielders to infielder, a lot of things can go wrong.
Nick Hundley is the batter, and Hundley takes a strike. It's 0-1. Since the start of last year, when the Phillies scored 3 runs or more for Hamels, he's unbeaten. He's 10-0. Well, they have 4 runs here.
It's hard to believe we got someone chirping from the dugout again.
We've had some close pitches tonight that Hamels has wanted. I'm sure Lyles wanted a few also. Two balls, 1 strike to Hundley. Outside, and it's 3-1. Fly ball to right field. Grady Sizemore is there and puts it away. Pretty easy inning for Hamels. So he follows up the 1-2-3 inning by facing the minimum here in the 6th. Phillies up 4-1 as we go to the 7th. Ben Revere in the top of the order when we come back. Use Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. ShopNissan.com. By Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by Jefferson, where health is all we do. Call 1-800-JEFF-NOW or visit jefferson.edu. Time now for our game summary, brought to you by your local Delaware Valley Honda dealers. 4-1 Phillies on top. They scored 3 in the 6th inning. Odubel Herrera's 2-run double ignited that. Cole Hamels been very good today. 6 strikeouts through 6 innings of work. Phil's looking to win 6 in a row for the first time since 2012. And the Rockies will go to their bullpen. They've got an extra guy in their bullpen. And they have an extra left-hander in the bullpen, not Christian Friedrich, but they have Johan Flande, the former Phil prospect, who is in the bullpen as well. So Friedrich will take over here. Ben Revere lead it off. It'll be Revere, Galvis, and Sizemore. So he's got 4 straight left-handers with the switch hitting Galvis up second. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Friedrich, 4-pitch pitcher, very good fastball. We'll top it at 93 miles an hour. And he throws like Iron Mike straight over the top.
Yeah, kind of like Josh Colmenter, who we saw yesterday with the Arizona Diamondbacks, only from the left side. Former #1 pick in 2008 by the Rockies. He is out of Eastern Kentucky. Fly ball, shallow left center field. And Revere is retired. 1 gone here in the 7th. Yeah, 1 gone here in the 7th. And now Freddie Galvis. Back in 2012, Friedrich started 16 games for the Rockies. He was 5-8. An ERA of over 6. Galvis shows bunt, takes a strike. His major league earned run average, counting this year, is about 5.5. Check swing. Did he go? No. One-two pitch to Galvis, and he chops it toward third. That ball did hit his foot. No signal from the home plate umpire. And Galvis is holding on to his foot. Now he looks over to the third base umpire, and he shakes his head no. I think Freddie's out here. Hunter Wendelstedt signaled out. Freddie has his bat.
He's out.
I don't think he realizes it yet. Scott Sheridan's going to come out and check out Freddie. Freddie just realized it right now. Jerry Lane just said that to him, and Freddie's like, wait a minute, I got hit in the foot. I do think they called him out. I don't think that they said it was a foul ball. Man, he's out. Maybe he's not. He's still standing at home plate.
He's not out. I mean, he didn't make an effort to run to first base, so as soon as it's off his foot, he stopped running.
Well, and nobody really signaled anything except for the first base umpire signaled out. The home plate umpire did not signal anything. The third base umpire shook his head. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sorry, folks.
I mean, wouldn't you think an umpire would?
Hands up. Both hands go up. That's what happens when there's a foul ball. 1-2 pitch to Galvis. And he floats it out toward right center field, and he'll get a base hit as he limps toward the first base bag. So Galvis picks up a base hit. One away. Jeff Francoeur will pinch hit for the Phils, and it's time now for a timeless moment. Murph, take it away.
It is indeed, Tom. Brought to you by Coors Banquet. And on this date, back in 1990, Ryne Sandberg's major league record errorless streak for a second baseman came to an end after 123 games and 584 chances. Now, he broke the record that was held by Joe Morgan at the time. Since then, it has been broken twice. Luis Castillo did it for the Twins, and then Placido Polanco, you'll remember, then beat Castillo's record. 186 games, 911 chances for Polanco, second baseman's errorless streak. But it was on this day that Ryne Sandberg's came to an end, guys.
Ryne Sandberg was an outstanding defensive second baseman, as that number tells you right there. And it's a guy who did not even play second base when he was coming up through the Phillies system on a consistent basis.
Learn something every day, right?
What'd you learn, Murph?
Oh, we're just discussing the timeless moment.
Oh, okay.
With the folks here in the front row.
Jeff Francoeur chops it to the right side. There's one. And Tulowitzki's able to turn the double play, and the side is retired. 4-6-3. No runs, one hit, nobody left for the Phillies. Time to stretch here at Coors Field. Ryne Sandberg stretching his legs. Phil's up by 3. Jeff Francoeur, who just pinch hit, takes over in right field for Grady Sizemore. And Cole Hamels starts this inning with 91 pitches, and here are the pitches that he's used here tonight. Man, he's really mixed it up.
Yeah, he really has. And surprisingly, he's only thrown 2 seamers.
Swing and a miss.
But this is the best we've seen his velocity this year. He's topped out at 95 today. He's got some pretty good zip on his fastball. His cutter's breaking a lot. He's got a very nice curveball.
Curveball right there, and it's 0-2 right on cue.
Thank you.
And a call, strike 3. Well, he continues to struggle with 2 strikes. 2 Stubbs does. 7 strikeouts now for Hamels. His splits tonight are very good.
Well, I can see why you struggle with 2 strikes when you take a fastball right down the middle. Good fastball by Cole.
Velocities, 4 seamers gotten to 94. 2 seamers jumped to 94 as well. Those are the averages. Matt mentioned he hit 95. He's hit 95 a couple different times. Change up low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. LeMahieu is 1 for 2. He singled home a run his first time up. Goes after a high fastball, 1-2. Well, he really has gotten better as this game has moved on. I mean, there's no denying it. Yeah, he's stronger. I think that's the right way to say it. Pulls it foul.
This is the average speed. And what I like is the curveball at 79, the changeup at 84, then all of a sudden he pops a fastball on at 94. So you really don't know what to sit on. And that's why he's having good success, and that's why a lot of guys are taking third pitch strikes.
Off the hands, out to right. Francoeur is there. And he carries for the second out. On Sunday, May 31st, will the Phillies play these Colorado Rockies? It's Wistar Institute Melanoma Awareness Day, presented by Independence Blue Cross and Citizens Bank. Kids bucket hat free to fans 14 and under. You can order your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Well, this is Rafael Yanoa, who was just added to the roster today. 27-year-old from the Dominican Republic. He'll be pinch hitting. Swing and a miss.
This is how we talked about how he's getting stronger, Cole Hamels, in the game. That's the 18th swing and miss so far tonight. Tells you how good his curveball's been, how good his changeup's been, and good location on his fastball.
At the end of the bat, it's 0-2. Yanoa played 19 games last year for the Rockies. He's been in 21 this year. Just broke his bat. Bullpen action. Ken Roberts warming for the Rockies. What do you think here, Matt? With the count 0-2 to an inexperienced hitter. Elevate again?
Elevate a fastball. I mean, you do have a young hitter, pretty anxious. Throw another good changeup. Let him spin himself into the dirt. Just don't throw a strike. Cole wants the fastball inside.
Carlos wanted changeup.
The other 3 pitches.
Yeah. No balls, 2 strikes to Yanoa. Again on the hands to the second level. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1-2-3, which Hamels did in the 5th inning, and has a chance to do it here in the 7th. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. There's Aaron Harang, who will start tomorrow's game. Ground ball to third, right at Maikel Franco. And the side is retired. Second 1-2-3 inning of the night for Cole Hamels. As we said, he's getting stronger as the night's going on. 4-1 Phils. Ryan Howard will lead it off. Just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And buy the Quality Plus Ford stores. Go further. Oh, we moved to the top of the 8th inning here at Coors Field. Cole Hamels jacket on. The Phillies bullpen is starting to loosen up as we speak, but Hamels has not been congratulated or anything. I think they're going to send him back out there in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll see. Garcia is going over the scouting report, so maybe not. He's over 100 pitches, but he's looked really good here tonight. Here's Kenny Roberts, 103 pitches for Hamels, 73 strikes, 30 balls. Kenny Roberts, 5 1/3 so far, 4 strikeouts. And he'll face Ryan Howard, Maikel Franco, and Chase Utley here in the top of the 8th. Howard, an RBI single his first time up. He's flied out and grounded out.
I would think at 103 pitches, Cole Hamels will start.
Yeah, after I said that nobody's congratulated him, yes. I mean, Garcia's going over the scouting report, so that leads you to believe that he is preparing to commit to this game. Fastball in there. It's 2-2. Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Diamondbacks win it in 13. 3-2 over the Marlins. So the Dan Jennings era starts with a loss, and if the Phillies wind up winning here tonight, then the Miami Marlins will slide to the basement. And Ryan Sandberg's team will get to 4th place. The ball is hit the opposite way by Howard. He's now 2 for 4. So a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. It's 4 straight losses for the Marlins. The Mets and the Cardinals, the Mets sit atop the division. They're tied at 14. They're tied at 1 in the 14th. Well, that'd be a story, wouldn't it, if they were tied at 14? Maikel Franco is 1 for 3. The play down the right field line. It's 0-1. Howard's got his average at 252. I mean, he's not going to win any batting titles at 252, but just think about where he was and how much that's climbed.
And that's been over, I'd say, the last road trip when we went to St. Louis, Miami, and Atlanta. He was under 200.
Yeah, I think Atlanta is really where it started.
Yeah.
I mean, St. Louis, he did plant a seed or two, but I thought Atlanta was really when it started.
He had the home run, the opposite field double,
Yeah.
the opposite field home run.
And now counting tonight's game and the homestand, he's 12 for his last 36. Another one pulled foul, and it remains 0-2 to Franco.
Franco's just a little jumpy tonight. He wants to go get that ball so bad. Instead of like yesterday when he hit the home run, the triple, he let it get it deep. Stay back and let it travel.
Well, he waves at a breaking ball, so he struck out, 1 away. And Chase Utley's due up. It'll be Utley, then Herrera against the lefty Kenny Roberts. Chase 1 for 2 with a walk tonight, and he has scored a run. Fastball in there. It's 0-1.
Chase, earlier in the season when he was struggling at times, he was having a hard time finding a comfortable spot for his feet. Well, I think he's found it right now. He doesn't move around as much with his feet. It's funny, some hitters will dig in a hole and stand it the whole time, but Chase has the happy feet.
But is he standing in the same spot all the time, or is he moving a little bit?
His front foot moves. He does a little toe tap every once in a while, but as a hitter, when you find that comfortable spot with your feet, you want to stay there. But when it doesn't feel comfortable, it means your balance is off.
Bit outside. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, even for Chase, I mean, think about it. He was at 0.91 with his average, and his average is now up 50 points. It's still at 144. It's going to take a while, and it's going to take a lot of good hitting for him to get it up even more and over 200. But his swings have been better. Popped that one up into foul territory. And Hundley reaches in and holds on. Well, that's a heck of a play right there. He knew exactly where he was at the last moment and was able to pull it back from the dugout. And there are 2 outs.
Well, one is the concentration of going by the on-deck circle, knowing the area where you're at, going over, making a very nice play.
Yeah, it helped him that where he went, there was nobody standing, because the fans easily could have made an attempt at that. Now Odubel Herrera with the runner at first base. Herrera has the big hit in this ball game, the 2-run double in the 6th. That broke a 1-all tie. Well, here comes that double right here.
That was a nice pitch, fastball inside. There we go, loud. Nice to see him get into a fastball inside. Chase comes around, scores from first base. El Toro.
El Toro. Inside, it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. He tried to back up curveballs to him, thinking he was so far off balance on the first one. Two is floated toward left field, and Blackman is there and makes the one-handed catch. That'll retire the side here in the 8th inning. No runs, 1 hit. Ryan Howard left over at first base. We played center and a half. Cole Hamels looks like he's going back out. It's getting close to being that time. It's time for kids to find the perfect baseball school or academy to go to. Baseball and softball camps. The Phillies Baseball Academy is for boys and girls aged 6 to 14. Go to philliescamps.com for more information or call 610-520-3400. Usually see those kids at the ballpark as the summer moves on. Maybe the Phillies' future right fielder can go to the Phillies Baseball Academy. Revere froze, but has time to come in and make the diving catch. And there's one out here in the 8th inning. So one out, Nolan Arenado's coming up. Ryan Sandberg sending out. It's time for the Major League Notebook. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, in addition to the new manager that you talked about earlier, a little history was made in Miami today. Ichiro Suzuki, a late ad into the lineup, but when he got in there, he also got 2 base hits. That second one tied him on the all-time hits list with, how about Babe Ruth, 2,873 hits. Next up on that list for Ichiro is Mel Ott, the Hall of Famer. And, yep, for the second straight week, Bryce Harper is your National League Player of the Week. It's only the 10th time in 40 years that a guy has gone back-to-back in the National League Player of the Week. Honors batted .522, 3 home runs, 12 hits, and 9 RBIs this week, in addition to add to what he did last week. Impressive indeed, guys.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. And as you were chatting, we had a pitching change. Cole Hamels' night is done. They wanted him to face the lefty Charlie Blackmon. He got him. So now the Phillies will go to the bullpen. Have Cole Hamels face the left-hander Charlie Blackmon, and that was it. And now he'll go to Luis Garcia. Garcia, 20th ball game, 1-1 with an ERA of 3.32. So he's on here in the bottom of the 8th inning to face Nolan Arenado, who is 0 for 2. First pitch is in there. It's 0-1. I actually thought they would let Hamels finish this 8th inning because he's dominated Arenado. You said that even you and I were talking during the break.
Yeah, he's punched him out twice. He's walked him once, but he's had his number the whole night.
Cole trying to win his 4th game and hoping his bullpen can hold on. They need to get 5 more outs. Cole goes 7 1/3 here tonight, so 58 1/3 this season, and the Phillies have scored 16 runs for him, including 4 tonight. This is kind of an avalanche for him. Swing and a miss, so 1-2. Diekman, the left-hander, DeFreitas, the right-hander.
Cole Hamels' strikeouts are climbing quickly. So now he's got 62 on the year.
Strikeouts, yeah. And a line drive base hit to center field. Arenado's aboard. Tulowitzki's coming up. Tomorrow night at 5, Michael Barkat is getting you ready for the NBA Draft Lottery. Plus more talk on the Flyers' new head coach, Dave Axtell, and the Phillies series in Colorado. Watch Phillies Sports Talk presented by Comcast Business. Comcast Sportsnet, the first NHL head coach that was hired from a college team since Herb Brooks. That worked out.
Yes, it did.
Well, it worked out at least for the Olympics.
Yeah. Miracle on Ice.
Yeah. Jim Salisbury is also going to be on Philly Sports Talk tomorrow, talking about Phil's baseball. You were on today talking Phil's baseball and hockey.
Yeah, I got mixed up a little bit. They wanted to talk about the hiring of the Flyers new coach.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what they said, so I just rambled on about hockey.
You figured somewhere in there would be what they wanted to hear you talk about?
Like, well, no, we're talking about the new hiring. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I didn't hear you.
One ball, no strikes to Tulowitzki. And now 1-1. Massive upper deck foul shot by Tulowitzki. Nice slider, and it's 1-2.
A backup slider that was lucky that it stayed up in the zone.
Play by Ruiz, and it's now 2-2. Phillies would love one of those double play outs here to get through the 8th inning. They lead it 4-1. They scored 3 in the 7th, or I should say in the 6th, to take the lead and break a 1-1 tie. Ball toward third. It's a fair ball, and Franco knocks it down, and the runners will be safe at first and second. He kind of peaked a little bit, and I think that's what caused him to miss that ball. That should go down as an E5. It would be his first error of the season.
Well, it's a chopper. It's not a double play ball.
Right.
But like, it's kind of, he didn't really peak.
No, he didn't peak. You're right.
If anything, he tried to be a little too quick by getting it out of the glove. And he keeps his eye down the ball.
Yeah, he certainly did. You're right.
He just in the glove and out the glove.
Well, they have Deke been warming up in the bullpen, but Carlos Gonzalez is going to face Luis Garcia. He is the tying run here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Runners lead off first and second. Gonzalez singled his last time up, and he swings at the first pitch and he fouls it. Cole Hamels got the first out here in the 8th inning, was lifted for Garcia, who allowed the single with 2 strikes to Arenado, and then the E5 by Franco on the ball hit by Tulowitzki. And now Gonzalez is up. No balls, 1 strike.
So what's the purpose of having Diekman up in the bullpen and getting loose? After Gonzalez, it's all right-handed hitters until you get back.
He's probably
Blackman.
He probably could just sit down at this point.
Yeah.
He will keep on throwing. Good slider, and it's 0-2. All right, now he's got to put him away here. It's the second time he's gotten 2 strikes against the hitter. The last time it was Arenado who singled up the middle. Actually, it's the 3rd time. Tulowitzki also with 2 strikes. It was 2-2 to Tulowitzki. Arenado he was ahead of with 2 strikes. Now the 0-2 pitch coming. Broken bat, line drive, base hit to right field. Rounding third and being waved home is Arenado. The throw to the plate. He is safe at the plate. What a slide by Arenado. It's now a 4-2 ball game. And obviously, by the looks of things, Ken Giles is not available tonight. We don't always know that until the game happens. Ryan Sandberg is waiting for Larry Bowa to take a review of this to see if Ruiz did tag Arenado, who peaked. It's really close. It's tough to tell whether the ball, whether the glove hit the jersey or not. They are going to review it, though. I don't think he got him.
Good slide. Actually, the Phillies got a break because Frenchie overthrew the cutoff man until Lewinsky stayed at second base.
The throw was down a little bit more. They would have gotten him at the plate.
Yeah.
And it was a strong arm again by Francoeur. So they will review this, and if they take a look at what we saw, see right there, that's a good view right there. It looks like the glove swept right past the jersey. And Carlos was not in Arenado's way. The throw kind of took him toward the baseline. That looks definitive, doesn't it, Matt, that he didn't get him?
That's a good slide.
He slid way away from the tag by Ruiz. Well, it means the tying run is now at first base, and Garcia, 3 straight hitters with 2 strikes, unable to put any of the 3 away. Phillies players are looking intently at the video board that you can see the umpires looking at as well. They're not involved in the decision right now. The decision's in the hands of the folks in New York. Well, it's worth a review. A request for a review at this point.
We have nothing to lose. 8th inning, you might as well. I'm not real sure what's taking so long.
It's taken a long time.
Because you would think as soon as the play happens that back in New York, they start looking at it.
Yeah, and again, if they saw the angles that we have seen, it did not look pretty clearly that Ruiz had tagged him. But it doesn't look like a decision is pending at this point. So Luis Garcia has been told he can throw a little bit, and here's the call from Jerry Lane, and finally he says safe. And that does seem to be the right call. So it's a 4-2 ball game. So it's getting somewhat dicey here for the Phils with runners on first and second. Bob McClure is going out to talk to Garcia. They're going to say the call stands. It's not confirmed. It stands, which means that they didn't see any evidence either way. Cole Hamels, all he can do is sit and watch. And now they'll deal with Willeen Rosario, who is 2 for 3 tonight. He has 2 singles. And he's certainly not an easy hitter to deal with when it comes to the Phillies, and his track record with them. He's hitting over .330 against the Phils in his career. Sandberg made the decision to take out Cole Hamels after just 1 out here in the 8th inning on 2 pitches. 1 out on 2 pitches. And it's Garcia, who pitched really well at Citizens Bank Park this past weekend. He needs another double play ball here. Rosario hit into a double play his last time up. Swing and a miss. He was looking to give the Rockies the lead on that first pitch. It's 0-1.
It is amazing, though, after your ace goes out of the game, the visiting team usually has a nice fresh breath air. You kind of get pumped up a little bit more, realizing that he's out of the game and you're seeing a different arm.
On the inside corner, it's 0-2. Rosario jumps back.
Here we go. 2 strikes again. It's a good fastball. Good fastball. Good frame by Chooch. Better call by the umpire.
And again, as we've mentioned, you just said it too, Matt. 4 straight times now. 2 strikes to the hitter. The 0-2 pitch. He tried to work a slider outside, but it was a ball that looked like out of his hand. And it's 1-2. Well, the fastball certainly has worked tonight from Hamels. Will it work for Garcia?
Well, a good 2-seam fastball would.
Down the right field line, another slice foul. It remains 1-2. It doesn't look like he has total control of that slider right now, which has been such a good pitch for him.
I always get nervous on sliders or an off-speed pitch in course in this ballpark because it doesn't break like all the other ballparks.
Right.
That's why a good 2-seam fastball, try to get like a 5-4-3 double play, something down in the zone.
Got him with the slider. Yep. So 2 outs here in the 8th inning. 8th strikeout for Phillies pitching. Rockies struck out 18 times in Friday night's game against the Dodgers.
That's a perfect location. That's the best slider we saw tonight.
Absolutely. And now Nick Hundley, who's 0 for 3. He's grounded out, and he's flied out to right twice. The right-handed hitter, the best hitter against righties for the Rockies. Lays off a fastball. Jerry Lane appeals. No swings is Hunter Wendelstedt.
That's a good location. 95 sinker.
See if they can extend that streak there for Hundley. With runners in scoring position, 2 outs. $97-mile-an-hour fastball. He hit 97 once the other day too in Philadelphia. It's not something he does all the time. Slider, did he go? It looked like he did. Yes, it's Hunter Wendelstedt. It's 2-2.
Did he go? Yes, he did.
Pretty emphatic call by Wendelstedt down the first base line.
I'm wondering if that was the third. Was he thinking there was 3 strikes?
He was just getting soaked into the drama. In the dirt, 3-2. The runners will be off. Toyota Major League Scoreboard, the Mets have pulled out a victory over the St. Louis Cardinals 2-1. John Mayberry Jr. has the game-winning RBI in that ball game. It was an infield single. Runners go, 3-2. Fly ball, shallow left field. Revere froze for a moment, now comes running in. He's under it, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Cole Hamels can breathe a sigh of relief along with everybody else back in Philadelphia. Luis Garcia leaves 2 on base. We'll go to the 9th. Got out of a tough situation in the bottom of the 8th inning, and as the inning closed out, Nick Hundley was ejected from the ball game by Hunter Wendelstedt. He was not happy about the check swing that was called a strike. We said that Hunter Wendelstedt was pretty emphatic about it, as if it was the 3rd strike of the inning or 3rd strike of the at bat. So Michael McHenry will take over behind the plate. They have 3 catchers on the roster, with Willeen Rosario, and Scott Oberg will be the new pitcher, his 14th game. 1-1 with a 6.97 ERA.
That should be interesting for tomorrow's game. Wendell behind home plate, Nick catching.
Yeah, you wonder if Rosario or McHenry will be behind the plate. Papelbon is warming up in the bullpen, so he is available for tonight's game. I think we're both in agreement, objectively, that Hundley did go on that swing.
Yes.
Just by looking at the replay. Ruiz tonight is 1 for 2, an RBI single in his last time up. Cesar Hernandez is in the on-deck circle to pinch hit. It's 2-0. There's Cesar. So the head groundskeeper go out to talk to Jerry Lane in between innings, let him know that there was another cell coming through. It is raining again here at Coors Field. Fastball in there. Two balls and 1 strike. I think the umpires are going to be dealing with the rain for the next 3 games. There's a loop out toward right. Gonzalez comes diving in and makes the catch. He was playing shallow. He read it perfectly. And as he left his feet, he saw it go right into his glove. 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning.
Well, Gonzalez has always been a very good outfielder. And playing in this ballpark, he gets good, tremendous leads. He doesn't play very deep in right field. His initial first step coming in and makes a very nice diving catch. Good concentration.
Good slow-mo there. Watch the whole thing going in.
He didn't see it. His eyes were closed.
Cesar Hernandez hits one foul.
Heads up, Murph.
Murph, you all right down there, buddy?
Yeah. That one was close.
Grounds crews in the dugout.
They woke up.
It's not a good sign. A ball's 1 strike. And a line drive caught by Arenado over third. Boy, he hit that one right on the nose. 2 outs. Every day is fun when you spend it at a Phillies game with your group of 25 or more. Take advantage of special group opportunities, including discounts, theme nights, party areas, and much more. No matter what size group, there are always benefits and special options. For more information, check out Phillies.com/group tickets. There is Papelbon. Ben Revere has 2 hits tonight, so 5 hits in the last 2 games. Down the left field line, Blackman will give it a look, and it's into foul territory. Be able to find those people no matter what time of day it is. Ooh, there's some bright jackets right there. Line drive toward the middle. Base hit for Revere. It's his 2nd straight 3-hit game. So he's on first with 2 men down. And Freddie Galvis is coming up. Boy, back-to-back 3-hit games for Ben Revere.
Well, that's why his average jumps up to 268.
Yeah. Galvis has a hit tonight. He's also been on base thanks to an error that helped the Phils score the run in the 1st inning.
Back-to-back changeups.
Long look by Galvis over at Pete McCannon at third base. That runner first is big for the Phils. If they can get him into scoring position. Give Papelbon a little more of a cushion. Boone Logan is warming up in the bullpen for the Rockies. That's a strike. It's 2-1. A little bit of a delayed call by Jerry Lane.
I don't mind that take. The second at bat hit a 2-0 pitch, hit a weak fly ball to pop up to third.
Took a hack at that one. Thought it was in the same spot that the previous one was, so it's even now 2-2.
It's a good time for Ben to take off right here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If it's a strike, you're going to try to put it in play. He's going to throw an off-speed pitch. It's a good pitch to steal on.
Down the right field line. He got away with that. It finally tucked itself on the inside part of the plate. First, and Rosario will take it to the bag, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 9th inning here at Coors Field. Jonathan Papelbon is coming on to try to save the Phillies' 6th consecutive win. things out against the Rockies. Time now for our W.B. Mason delivery of the game. All right, Matt, this broke a 1-1 tie back in the 6th inning.
Yeah, came back in the 6th inning. Big old 2-0 knock right here. Gets a fastball inside. Odubel Herrera hits down the right field corner. See Chase Utley scores right here. That's a big hit. It's a ball he's been struggling on. He finally gets it. Gives the El Toro right there. There he is right there. His little buddy that Chooch brought. And that's why it's a delivery of the game brought to you by W.B. Mason.
His little buddy.
Little buddy. Little fella.
3 outs to go, and the Phils are trying to get their first 6-game winning streak since 2012. 6-game winning streaks were no big deal for the Phils when they were winning all those divisions. Papelbon trying to pick up his 10th save of the season. No wins, no losses, an ERA of 1.13. And he'll face Drew Stubbs to start it off, then DJ LeMahieu. It's not McHenry that he'll face in the 9-hole. In fact, after Hundley was thrown out, I thought they were going to put McHenry in the pitcher spot. But they do not. The pitcher spot is due up next. First pitch to Stubbs, shows bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Swing and a miss. The slider, it's 0-2.
Nasty slider.
Yeah, he is a totally different pitcher than he was when the Phillies signed him. He's a 3-pitch pitcher as a closer. The fastball, it's a slider and the splitter. And he goes upstairs with that fastball. It's 1-2. Papelbon with 9 saves trying to tie Craig Kimbrell for 5th in the National League. Kimbrell has 10 for the Padres. Trevor Rosenthal and Jeurys Familia are tied with 13. They sit atop the National League. And now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. Good location. 3rd time tonight that Stubbs has been struck out. And here comes DJ LeMahieu.
It's a good elevated fastball at 91 miles an hour. Sneaky fast. You think it's coming in at 91, but it actually has a little bit of giddy up and has a little rise at the end of it.
LeMahieu tonight is 1 for 3. He singled in one of the 2 runs. It was way back in the 2nd inning to tie the game at 1. That was a high breaking pitch, but it was in for a strike. I should say it started high, but then cut down toward the belt.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Colorado Rockies are taking a strike.
Oh, we'll be back on the air tomorrow night on Comcast Sportsnet at 8:30. 8:40 first pitch. This pregame live will get you started at 8 Eastern time.
Tom, this is the 12th 0-2 pitch count for the Phillies pitchers tonight. 12 times.
As we said early on, they were making Hamels work. He was getting to 2 strikes, but then they were making him work with 2 strikes. That was early. He was closing pretty good toward the end. One ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball right field, pretty well hit. Francoeur ventures back toward the wall, and he misplayed it, and he slams into the wall. Herrera will get to it, and LeMahieu's on his way to 3rd. A 1-out triple. And the tying run has come to the plate.
This ball's hit pretty good to right field. Fastball outer half. French had a pretty good jump on it. Kind of just tailed back and missed it.
Yeah, he kind of got his feet tangled up.
Right there.
Yeah. pinch hitter will be Corey Dickerson. Dickerson was 1 for 6 in the series against the Dodgers. He hurt his leg during that series. Part of the reason why he was not in the lineup tonight. He's tied for the team lead, or excuse me, tied for second on the team in home runs. He has 5, hitting .309 on the season. 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Phillies will concede this run to get an out, get the second out of the inning. 0-1. This is where Dickerson got hurt. He's been battling plantar fasciitis, and they said he aggravated it on that play. Anybody that's had that, it is painful. Matt, you've had that?
No, I have not.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. He's trying to pull a Kirk Gibson right there.
It's a healthy swing. A little late, but healthy.
Just got a piece of it. 93 on that one for Papelbon. Remains 0-2. Papelbon last week became the Phillies' all-time leader in saves. He's trying to add to that list. Try to save this one for Cole Hamels, who went 7 1/3. That was the splitter, and it was up a little bit.
Yeah. You want to throw that split finger and try to drop it right on home plate, or right behind it.
Got him. Foul tip hung on to by Ruiz. 2 outs. And 2 strikeouts for Papelbon. And Charlie Blackmon is now the batter.
A good location. Shoots once the fastball inside. Nice way to run. A little sink on the ball. Dickerson takes a healthy hack.
I don't know if he was compensating because of that sore foot. Blackmon 0 for 4 tonight. He's popped out. He's grounded out. He struck out in the 5th, flied out in the 8th. He was over at 3rd. He tripled with 1 man down. Base hit to right center field, so a run is in. Blackman's thinking 2, and he takes a big turn. Frank Ford did a great job getting that ball in. So it's a 4-3 ball game. And Nolan Arenado will be the batter.
Frenchie does a nice job of getting the ball in because he's playing so deep in right field. And it was a jam shot to right center, getting over it quick and not allowing Blackmon to get to second base.
All right, now you have to keep an eye on Blackmon taking his lead off first. He has stolen 5 bases. You saw how quickly he got up the line. He was a fast runner.
Papelbon doesn't hold runners very well.
No, he's tried to get better with it. Pitch is outside. It's 1-0. third from Papelbon. Papelbon has been so good. He's had base runners to deal with, but not as many as past years. But no attempts to try to steal a bag against him in 2015. No ball, no strikes. It's foul down the left field line. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Fastball underneath the hands. And it toots and hits the left field for a long strike 1.
Blackman was leaning a little bit on that one. Fortunately, he got back in time. Would you go, Matt, if you're Blackman?
I don't know. I mean, he's flinching. He wants to go. You better, if you're going to go, you better get a tremendous jump. That's all I can say.
He doesn't go. Pitch is swung out and missed. 1-2. 92 on that fastball. As if he was looking for something else or a different location.
Different location. I mean, the fastball prior to that was a fastball in. Now, if you're going to go, this is the time to go. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Blackman leads off. There he goes. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Phillies, for the first time since 2012, have won 6 consecutive games. They win it tonight by a final score of 4-3. Jonathan Papelbon save number 10. Cole Hamels win number 4. As it turns out, Odubel Herrera's 2-run double gave the Phillies the lead for good. Yes, it did get dicey in the 8th inning, here in the 9th inning, but the Phillies were able to hang on and win it by a final of 4-3. Our Chevrolet player of the game, Cole Hamels, we mentioned he got stronger as the night went on and really was effective with his fastball again tonight.
He was. He went 7 1/3 innings with 7 strikeouts, and he really had great command of every pitch. I really liked his curveball tonight. He didn't throw as many as 2 seamers because he threw more cutters tonight, but he really kept the hitters off balance all night and just had great control. And like you said, he was getting stronger and stronger as the game was going. Pound the strike zone, that's why he's a player of the game, brought to you by Chevrolet.
So 4-3, the final score. The Phillies win it. Carlos Ruiz is behind the plate for all the drama tonight, and he's down on the field with Murph. Murph?
He was indeed. He also had that RBI single to give them that 4th run. Once again, this offense, it continues to put up big innings over this past this winning streak, and that's so important for you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's huge for us, and you know, so far, you know, we play great baseball. And we scored some runs, you know, for Cole today, and then the bullpen do a great job to keep the game right there, you know, offense. So that's big for us.
Yeah, all things are kind of clicking right now during this win streak. You mentioned Cole Hamels. He was so good again tonight. What was working for him?
Everything, you know, his fastball today, I feel like it has some more life, and you know, the quarter was working, and the curveball was, you know, I think everything was working today, and that was big for him.
6-game winning streak. You know, it had to start somewhere, and you guys have been building on it. You know, how important is it for this team to kind of get on a roll like you guys are on right now, 6 in a row?
Yeah, that's a great feeling. You know, we have to continue to play the good baseball, and you know, come back tomorrow do the best, you know, and have some put some numbers on the board, you know, and have some W's. That's huge.
All right, you look for 7 in a row tomorrow night. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, we appreciate that. The Phillies fans have watched their team climb out of the basement of the National League East as they win it tonight by a final score of 4-3. There's the final out. Jonathan Papelbon with the strikeout. Save number 10. Odubel Herrera, the offensive hero, with a big 2-run double. And yeah, El Toro had something to do with it.